What is going on, everybody? This is your Dude Shotmaster, and yesterday EA Sports released had a show on Twitch all about scouting, the new feature that's going to be in Madden NFL 22 franchise. Now, this update will not come out until September. The game releases August 20th, but this is a new feature that a lot of people in the Madden community, Madden franchise community, has been asking for. So let's get into it. So scouting as a whole is being revamped. It's not just going to be different in little ways. It's totally revamped. Obviously, you'll still be able to scout players, but the way that you go about it is entirely different now. EA is moving away from the scouting point system where you have a bucket of points each week and then you spend it on players. This is more about making key decisions throughout the season. You'll get progress of every single player on your board at different points during the season, essentially getting a baseline scouting on every player in the game in your class. You'll know this guy runs fast, he's strong, or he has a cannon for an arm. One thing that I've been asking EA to give more details about is the rookies coming in. I just feel like we don't get enough information. Like, does this guy play well against edge rushers, or is he more of an inside rush move defender? More information than just letter grades, and it looks like EA is going to do just that. One of the big goals EA had was they wanted to add complexity to the feature, but EA also wanted to remove some of the tediousness of scouting. So you don't have to go in every week and feel like you're missing something if you can't. We've all been there, been in a rush, just played our game, but can't go into scouting to spend your points and then you lose half of it the next week. Well, in Madden 22, with this new scouting, there will be key decision points that you're going to want to interact with because that'll shape your board, basically evaluate itself over the course of the season, but it's not necessary. So here's how it'll work. You'll be able to pick a position per each of your now 4 area scouts and a national scout, rather than it just being a scouting department as a whole. You'll have individual scouts with strengths and weaknesses. So you might have a guy who specializes in scouting quarterbacks. From the screen, it looks like a scout has 2 positions of expertise, but looks like one may be grayed out. We'll talk about that later. But still not sure if the first one gives you a bigger bonus than the second one, but clearly it looks like there are 2 positions that every scout has. So anyways, you're going to send them out to different areas and to scout one of the 4 regions on the map. Some regions have more schools than others, so they kind of cut them off a little bit to make the areas look a little bit more even, I guess, for school-wise counts. And you'll be able to assign your scouts to the start of each season based on preliminary big board. And the big board is changing throughout the seasons. It's no longer just where a player's ranked at and that's it, he won't go nowhere. EA is treating this more as a media big board. So a player who has a really few good games in a row, you'll see a news blurb pop up that this player is hot. This player has played great, only allowed 1 sack in his last 5 games or something like that, or 1 pressure. That's going to be reflected on the big board. You're going to see that he's going to move up in the draft board so that the AI itself is going to draft players based on changes in perception and the evaluation of players. One of the examples they gave was, let's say you find a guy in the 5th round and he's the best player in the class and he just sits there. That's not going to happen anymore. It's really going to be a lot harder if you find that player that you're really keen on at different scouting events to keep his stock from rising. You can scout him and get a large amount of information on that player, but it comes at a cost, and that cost is awareness to the media. So once you start scouting, the media will take notice. So let's say you send your national scout, they really call the national scout a focus scout, to scout this player. When you do that, the media is going to be aware that you are attending his games and you'll bring attention to him. So this feature right here is amazing to me because I feel like it can work in reverse as well. I feel like maybe I can send a focus scout to a player to draw attention to him, even though I know I may not take him or don't want him. So sending your national scout or your focus scout means that you are trying to get a full completion of information on that guy. But you'll also have private workouts as well, which is just amazing. EA didn't go into extent of private workouts and how they'll work, but that sounds like amazing again. They did mention that you'll be able to invite a few, but didn't really give a specific number. I wonder if other users will be able to see who you brought to a private workout. That would be crazy. Private workouts will give you a big boost in the report, and I guess gives you way more information that you could have than if you just went and scouted them. But there's additional layers to that, so that the big board will fluctuate and there will be mock drafts. Right now, EA has it scheduled for 5 mock drafts over the course of the season. So as the draft position changes, so does the mock draft. So if you need to make a decision on someone, you'll see about where they'll be in the draft according to everyone's needs, and maybe according to how everybody is scouting and who they're using their focus scouting on. You can see a guy being fast, or this guy has a big arm, but if you don't understand he doesn't have the mental processing or the awareness, then he's not going to be that guy that you expect or that guy that he was in college. So getting that information is important. The other thing that caught my attention during the reveal is the aggregation is not going to be exact. You might not find their exact true talent range. And it's a range this year. So instead of saying this guy's a first round pick, it will be this guy's round 1 to round 2 or top 5 or blue chip players. Those are clear cuts. And as you get later in the draft, that range widens. So I imagine if you get like to the 4th round, you might find guys who are like 4th through 7th round picks. So it looks like EA wants to give us as much information as possible without overwhelming us. So if you are one of those guys who may be overwhelmed with scouting and you don't want to fool with scouting, you could easily just assign your scouts at the beginning of the preseason and let them do the work and do nothing until the offseason comes back around. That's right, scouting starts in preseason, not week 3 this year. If you want to get your hands dirty in scouting, the scouting tab will always be there all season long. So it looks like scouts have 3 different tiers to them as well. And those tiers really modify how much additional bonus you get when scouting a position of expertise. You're picking the scouts that are most logical for you. Meaning that if you have a great quarterback, you don't really need a quarterback scout. You can get somebody that scouts linebackers, something that you may need. But they have 2 positions of expertise. I can see this on the screen. Like they also teach something else about tiers that will be dropping in the future update. They also mentioned that the second position is grayed out. I can't really tell from the screenshot, so it may be grayed out. But they said that they're going to do something there as well. All in all, scouting looks to be revamped in Madden NFL 22, and I'm excited about it and all the other changes to franchise mode this year. I wish they gave us some examples of what information you'll get when scouting, but I'm sure that will come late in the blog. So happy to see my guys Moonlight Swami and Deuce Douglas be a part of the franchise team and hopefully leading the change for good for franchise to come. There were several other things that they discussed, like franchise live services and how more features will be dropping throughout the year like they did last year with commissioner options and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments section what you think about this scouting, and stick that like button and subscribe to the channel. Madden NFL 22 is right around the corner. It's releasing on August 20th, but these changes with scouting won't come out until sometime in September. Hope you guys enjoy the information. You can catch me most nights on Twitch at ShotMasterTV, and I'll check in with you guys later.